My name is Maddie Casagranda, and I'm a working artist based in Houston, Texas. I am finishing up my MFA at the University of Houston this coming school year. My background is definitely based in the darkroom, traditionally working with alternative photographic processes. That's been a big part of my practice for a long time. But I'm also becoming more interdisciplinary, working with video, textiles, installation, digital fabrication, things like that. The women in my family have a long history of working with textile mediums as part of their care practice and their roles as mothers and caregivers. And those themes are definitely part of the discussion in my work. And so it makes sense, I think, for me to integrate those mediums into my practice, into my artwork. As a child, my mother and my grandmother are always attempted to sort of pass those mediums on to me or help me to learn them and teach them to me, but I don't think I showed much interest and I never really picked up those skills. I must have become frustrated easily and given up. So it's been an interesting shift for me, and also in my relationship with them as I've reapproached them in my adulthood and asked for support and knowledge and help to relearn those mediums and those skills over again. And I'm also asking questions about what it means for those mediums to be taken from the landscape of the domestic space and recontextualized within the art discussion or the art gallery, and what kind of conversations that brings up. I gave birth to my first child during the first semester of my graduate program, working on my MFA, and striking the balance between mothering and art making and being a working artist is an ever-present challenge. And I think it's one that I will constantly be grappling with and reconsidering, but I do think that the pursuit is worthwhile despite all of the adapting and improvising it requires. It's sort of a feeling of never being able to finish what you started, leaving off a train of thought you had going and having to come back to it later, doing things halfway and then being pulled away, and trying to figure out what you were doing before when you reapproach it. So it's definitely difficult, but I think it's thought-provoking, and this relationship between art and care definitely drives my practice. This piece, Loose Ends, is a quilt top I've been working on for a while, and it's made of found fabrics, repurposed clothing from my journey of becoming a mother, maternity items, baby clothes, burp rags, breast pads, all of those items that you cling to as a new mother when you are trying to survive. So just collage them and stitch them together in a haphazard way, hoping to draw a parallel to those to the realities of those early months and years of being a mother. Nothing's ever quite finished and nothing's ever quite perfect, but it does function nonetheless, and I think it's enough. We're enough as mothers, even if we're not fully finished or fully developed or fully pulled together. It's been an exciting piece for me to finish, and clearly it's unfinished. It's not technically finished in the sense that it's not quilted. It doesn't have the backing on it, and it hasn't been quilted together and everything. So, but that was intentional on my part because I'm thinking about what it means to be finished and how do we decide when something is finished or enough, and can it function in an unfinished or an incomplete form. So those are some of the things I'm thinking about, along with sort of the devaluation of care work and the lack of support for people providing gendered, unseen, unpaid labor. And I see that much of our society is functioning on the shoulders of that, and so I think it's something we should be thinking about. I think a lot of my work functions as a way to critique that labor and also honor it while asking questions about those roles and who is performing